there! You may or may not know me, so I do believe that an introduction is in order. I'm Helen or V, the owner of the channel V Stella, which is the one you're on right now, and I'd love to invite you to a project called Tomorrow's Ashes. Tomorrow's Ashes takes place in the distant future. After the obliteration of Earth's natural environment via nuclear warfare, humanity's birth rates have hit an all-time low. Not many can have children, and those who do often die prematurely or must be fitted with robotic parts to survive the dangerous climate. True, humans are few and far between, most incredibly ill or suffering from some kind of handicap. In an effort to preserve humanity and have a people that can survive the radioactivity and lack of vegetation, governments attempted to create artificial replicas of humans. However, instead creating what are now known as red flares. The world, as a result, has been divided into safe zones and flare zones. Safe zones are inhabited by humans, cyborgs, also known as those with robotic augmentations, and androids. Life goes on normally for those within safe zones, or as normal as you can living in post-apocalyptic settings. Cities within safe zones often undergo drills and shutdowns due to flare zones, or rather, what lurks within them. Flare zones are massive chunks of land, rotted and decaying. The only things fit to survive in them are androids and red flares, deemed dangerous, kill-on-sight monsters. Any human or cyborg trapped in a flare zone is considered dead by default, left to fend for themselves in the wastelands. Well, now's the time to enter our protagonist, Ambrose Bradford. He's your average run-of-the-mill human, until he's locked out of the safe zone, that is. There, he's rescued by a red flare known as Terra, and throughout the series ventures with it to return home. Traveling alongside Terra, Ambrose learns about the red flares, how they survive, if they're even really as violent as illustrated within safe zones, and seeing that perhaps everything claimed about the red flares wasn't the full truth, as many in the flare zones are just as afraid as those in the safe zones are. Within this story, there are 4 main groups: human, cyborgs, red flares, and androids. Humans are classified by having 0 augmentation done to their bodies, entirely organic and being susceptible to most illnesses. They are the most rare across all zones, given how difficult it is to survive as one. Cyborgs are humans, or living beings in general, that have been augmented with robotic parts in order to survive. Most had priorly been struck with some kind of illness, limb loss, etc. Alongside androids, they are the most common within safe zones. Red flares are failed artificial humans, quote-unquote, that are most often found in flare zones. In order to differentiate them from humans, before being dumped, parts of their body had been ripped away. Most are missing eyes, limbs, so on and so forth, and a few of them have luckily managed to replace them with leftover parts. Androids are entirely robotic beings created to serve humans and cyborgs, though many of them have the ability to live and exist as normal citizens. They are found, quite literally, everywhere. The most obvious difference is the fact that they are literally composed of wires and metal, with a synthetic skin grafted over top. Well, after hearing my 3.5-minute ramble, if you're interested, let me tell you a few things about the server. Firstly, this server is 13+, as it complies with Discord TOS, as well as the fact that the series deals with some heavy topics, as mentioned in the summary, but a quicker overview is violence, death, blood, and illness. Please do keep in mind that there is some swearing within the series. Next up, what we need for the series are as follows: VAs of all genders, background artists, thumbnail artists, animators, and artists for the series. If this all sounds really cool to you, I'm so happy, and I'll see you there. V Stella, signing off.